Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another video on the pros and cons of living in the Dominican Republic. Today we're talking about the weather. Now I have done a video about the weather in this series before, probably like 2 years ago. Today I'm going to do it again, just do a refresh and add some more ideas that I have thought of. Again, these are all my opinions, but there are things that I think people should consider if they're interested in moving here. To start, let's talk a little bit about what the weather is. The Dominican Republic has a tropical climate. It is warm and humid year-round with the least rain from January to March and the most precipitation from May to November. The water temperature stays above 77 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, which makes it a great vacation destination. But if you decide to make this your home, what are the pros and cons of the weather? Let's start off with the pro. Number one, you can find places with different weather on the island. For example, Constanza is considered the coldest city in the Dominican Republic and the Caribbean, with the yearly temperature range from 53 degrees Fahrenheit to 78 degrees, while many other places range from lower 70s to upper 80s over the course of the year. Number two, that brings me to another pro, which is if you love the beach, you can pretty much go to the beach year-round. It's always going to be great weather for the beach. The water will always be warm, and you'll definitely make your friends and family jealous when they are snowed into their houses and you are at the beach. Number three is a con. We're starting with this one because I am feeling it right now in October. I miss seasons. I miss fall. There's so many different changes and things that come with the seasons, from switching up your wardrobe, having entirely different things you wear from summer to winter, getting the feeling of newness, being able to wear layers. It gives you more style options, more ways to wear your clothes. I miss that crisp fall chill in the air, and I miss the change of scenery, you know, seeing the snow cover the trees and then seeing them turn green, bright with leaves again, and then have flowers and then change colors to beautiful reds and oranges. I miss all that. But I do have to say that I do appreciate how beautiful everything is here. Sometimes I feel like when I take a picture, it looks like I have turned the vibrancy up, but that's just how it is. It's just so beautiful. Number four is a pro, and that is that you do get to wear your summer clothes all year round. This allows for a more simplified wardrobe, and I didn't have to pack anything for other seasons. I have one long sleeve shirt, one jacket, one rain jacket, and that's the extent of the warmer clothes that I have. Although that didn't stop me from having overweight suitcases. Check out my last video for the story about the fiasco I had in the airport trying to get my bags to be underweight. Number five is a con, and that is, as a Pennsylvanian, it can be very hot for me, but depending on the person, it is tolerable weather, especially compared to places that have triple-digit temperatures. It is more humid heat as opposed to a dry heat, so it depends on what you prefer. Personally, it kind of just makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm sweating all the time. Anytime I go out, I know I'm going to be sweating. But on the other hand, a pro is that I don't have to check the weather. I rarely ever check the weather because I know it's just going to be the same temperature, hot. And another thing about the weather app, number seven, is a con. Sometimes I will check it for rain, but it's not accurate with rain. In the US, if I checked AccuWeather and it said it's going to start raining in 3 minutes, it would, like almost on the dot all the time. But here, it might say, okay, like at 3 p.m., there's a 10% chance of rain, and then it'll start raining like right now in the morning at 11 a.m. And then it won't rain at all the rest of the day. So it's really not as reliable concerning the rain. It will randomly rain on a cloudy day or a sunny day, and sometimes you just can't expect it. Number eight is a pro. My skin is definitely less dry here. I never really suffered with dry skin until I came here and I went back. When I would go back, especially during winter break, around Christmas time, I had such dry skin for the first few days as my skin was adjusting to the different climates because, man, I never realized, but yeah, my skin is not dry here. The only time I feel it when it's dry is if I go in an Uber, and it's like a shocking difference between sweating outside and then suddenly it's like air conditioning on my skin and then it feels dry. Other than that, yeah, no dry skin problems for me. Number nine, a con is that there are more natural disasters here, especially compared to PA, which I feel like is practically a safe haven from natural disasters. We don't have hurricanes, we don't have tornadoes, we don't have earthquakes. We have like maybe snowstorms, but there's not a lot of bad things that happen in PA concerning the weather, in my opinion. But I do have to say, in the very short time that I've been here, most extreme effects of natural phenomena that I have personally experienced are as follows. The first earthquake I ever felt, I was giving a lesson in my last apartment, the shared apartment. I didn't have a desk in my room, so I sat on the edge of my bed. Suddenly I just like felt weird, and it seemed like an animal had jumped on the back of the bed, like behind me. And I was like a little bit weirded out for a second, and my student was like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, it seemed like an animal just jumped on my bed. And I looked it up. I know my other roommate had said she had felt an earthquake one time, so I Googled it, and it had been an earthquake, and that was like an aftershock, but it wasn't anything big. A second earthquake happened, again while in a lesson, this time in the morning. and this time in this current apartment where I live. I was sitting at this table and then everything just began to shake a little bit. The decorations that we have were like shaking really loudly against the table. My student actually noticed. It was a young child, and they asked, do you have a dog? Do you have a cat? Do you have a baby? Did something push the table or shake the table or jump on the table? I was like, no, I think it's an earthquake. And then it stopped, it was fine, and there was nothing else. I googled it again, did see that there was an earthquake nearby, but thankfully that was the most extreme thing regarding earthquakes. Yeah, it was enough for my student to actually notice. So I guess like my laptop, the camera was shaking a bit, but we just played Simon Says and moved on. That one was definitely a bit more disorienting. The third event was the hurricane back in August, and that was probably the most extreme thing, but the only reason I was affected was by a leaking roof, which left like a stain in the wall. Should probably try to clean that. And my husband got off work, so that was fun, I guess. We just stayed home and it rained all day. It was a lot of rain, but the only ways we were affected was by the leaking roof because we are on the top floor and the power was out most of the day. But these are just 3 very minor events in the 3 years that I've been here, so natural disasters do happen more frequently, but thanks to God, they haven't been anything drastic. Number 10 is a pro, and that is, while you might not get snow days, I know that was kind of a disappointment as a teacher, there will be rain days almost. Like I mentioned, during the hurricane, the president declared 2 days non-working days, non-labor days. So my husband didn't have to go to work, he went to work one of them. Some people, depending on what industry they work in, if it's raining enough, some people just won't go to work, they'll just stay home, even if it's not declared non-labor day or anything like that. So you still can use that as an excuse. Ending it with another pro, number 11, is that there's just so much sunshine here, it really can help boost your mood. Since being here, there've never been so many days at a time where it's cloudy that I feel like, oh my gosh, when's this gonna end? Like feeling unmotivated, feeling the blues, things like that. It always becomes sunny again, sooner rather than later. So while I can't get annoyed by sweating so easily, I am very grateful to live in a place that is just so sunny, vibrant, and where I can go to the beach all year round. So that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.